And now for more on this topic, we're now joined in the studio by my colleague Wu Haojun. Hello, Haojun. Certainly some very appalling cases we've seen here. Now, what exactly is the proposed underage intervention mechanism, and how does it intend to protect vulnerable children?
Yes, Tony, it's exactly the shocking instance we've just seen in the story that the new underage intervention mechanism will endeavor to prevent from happening. In fact, there is no lack of child protection related laws in the country. China's 1991 Child Protection Law, 1987 Civil Law, and other relevant bylaws define the deprivation of parental custody. But there are no specifics on how to implement these laws. For example, the current law has failed to specify who can sue when a child is abused by their parents. According to Chinese law, relevant individuals or institutions can appeal to the courts when a child is abused by their legal guardian, but the law doesn't further define relevant individuals or institutions. And it's especially unclear about which department is responsible for caring for children if parental custody is removed, and what precautions should be taken. So it's exactly all these loopholes the proposed underage intervention mechanism will address.
Well, Haojun, from your research, tell us how some other countries are dealing with the issue. Anything China that can learn from?
Well, that's a good question here. I'll use the U.S. as an example. It's certainly not an example of a country with the best child welfare. According to U.S. Department of Health and Human Services for 2012, a nationally estimated 1,640 children died of abuse and neglect. But it's exactly because there is a child abuse problem in the U.S. and they're dealing with it that we can get some insight. In the U.S., the Child Protective Services, basically a government-funded social services agency, is the one responsible for finding out about child abuse and neglect. U.S. laws actually require anybody who believes that a child has been abused or neglected to make a report to CPS, and the agency will assign caseworkers to investigate. And it doesn't fight the fight alone, it gets a lot of support from law enforcement agencies as well. After an investigation, if your child is deemed not safe, your caseworker will determine if you need services to reduce the risk of abuse or if the child needs to be removed from your care. Certainly a system China can learn from. Back to you, Dong Ling.
All right, thank you very much indeed. And now